Asked right now is how interested someone like you might be in the number 2 spot if you were to be offered that spot by John McCain.
Well, not nearly as interested as I would be in the number 1 spot. But let's face it, if a person runs for president, you certainly believe you can do that job. If you're asked to be vice president, you certainly believe you can do that job. I haven't been asked, may never be. But it's not something that people go and campaign for, but it's not something that people turn down either.
You haven't been asked, but have you had any kind of preliminary conversations with Senator McCain or his staff or anyone within the GOP?
No, I have not. And I don't know what his process will be. And so I'm not sitting around thinking that that's going to happen. I have serious doubts that it would, and that's why I'm,
Why do you think it would be? You have serious doubts. I mean, it seems that a lot of conservatives are saying you need someone to balance the ticket because a lot of conservatives don't like John McCain. You were very likable during the campaign.
We have, I think, an excellent relationship. It's just that I'm not one that has any illusions that he has some obligation to me. And there are a lot of people who he may feel more obliged to, and I just understand how that works.
Would you accept if he outright asked you?
He hasn't, so let me not go around saying, "Oh, I'm happy to be the date to the homecoming," when I haven't been asked yet.
Unlike Ronald.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things you certainly always would consider that an honor to be asked, but that's his decision to make. I'm going to support him. I'm going to support whoever he picks, and I don't want to be in the position of picking myself and him not picking me, and then acting like, gee, he should have picked me. That's his decision.
Do you have any interest in being chairman of the Republican National Committee? Is that something you've thought of?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
I hadn't thought about that at all.
Do you have interest in doing any other governmental or political work after the election season's over, if you're not chosen as vice president or you don't accept?
I have no interest in some cabinet or anything like that. At least I can't think of any job in D.C. right now that I'd really be all lined up to take. I do plan this year to vigorously campaign for people running for the House and Senate. I want to do as much as I can to help Republicans and conservatives get elected.
To go from running for president a few weeks ago to now no longer running for president. What's that feeling like?
It's like going 100 miles an hour and suddenly coming to a dead stop. It's a pretty abrupt change. But last Saturday, for example, was the first Saturday I've spent at home since last spring. So there are a few advantages. My dogs recognize me now, immediately without having to be reminded of who I am. That's nice. But I had a great, incredible experience on the campaign trail that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. I met the nicest people in America. The supporters we had were phenomenal and so very committed and dedicated and generous with their time, their contributions. My faith in people was certainly renewed and energized.
Are you giving any consideration to doing this again in 2012?
It's a little early to decide. Don't rule anything out. I look at myself and I'm saying, hey, I was one of the youngest guys that ran this time. So there's life left after this.